Okay, Marcus, next question for you. So one of the things in my own work in my own experiments, my own research that I'm really interested in and certainly inspired by is sustainability. And also that has now led me to start researching the history of solar adoration or and solar worship, and in fact. It's led me to start studying the way in which humans respond and react to the sun, as well as the way we invent our own reality in a world where the sun sets every night and it rises again every morning. Where are you at with respect to design and art when it comes to sustainability, solar energy, the sun in general, and the technologies surrounding those subjects?
I think first of all, I always say I'm not a big fan of the word sustainability, because I feel like that it's been misused so much that we can't apply it anymore.
Sure.
But I know exactly what you mean. So it's I think.
Well, let's use it in the strictest sense.
Yeah.
The sense being using the planet's resources in a way that doesn't completely annihilate everyone.
Yeah.
So using it in a way that where the long-term survivability of the human race becomes likely.
I think for me, solar energy or the sun is the ultimate energy and the ultimate source of all life, really. So that's and that's not only for me. I mean that's more a fact, I guess. And what's fascinating about me, how we can use solar energy on Earth is, I mean, first of all, that there's so much of it until the Earth will burn. So it's like we will have enough until right to the end. And also that it's the only kind of sustainable energy that is coming from outside, which is not wind, waves, I don't know, it's basically this outside energy that we can harvest, that is so plentiful that, to me, harvesting it for the purpose of creating electricity or creating the energies there, the heat or whatever, the energy that we need, wouldn't really change the climate on Earth. And I think by wind, I always have a feeling like, well, what if we take all the wind away? Like, what effect does it have to the world? If we take the Gulf Stream and we try to use that, what happens to our ecosystem? So I think there are always these elements on Earth that if we tap into those, it'll change something somewhere else on this planet.
And likewise with the sun, what if we tapped every last drop of sun that hit the Earth?
Totally, but I think that's very true. But it is so plentiful, and for me, then technology comes in, because that you asked also about technology. Then technology comes in, and if we would be able to actually harvest about, I don't know, with 90% efficiency, solar radiation, then we won't need very much. Basically, we just need a small field, or even anyone could just have a small kind of solar panel and would have enough energy. And at the moment we're just at, I guess, maximum like 30% or something, which is just not very efficient. So I think it's a question of efficiency with solar energy, because we don't have to plaster the whole world with solar panels if we have efficiency. And
what about moon power? Are you a fan of harnessing energy from the moon?
I think it's kind of nice, because we don't have, then we don't have the storage problem, I guess, which we have with the sun. That's one big problem with the sunlight. But
why isn't there a storage problem with moon power?
Well, then we could do both, right? We could do it at night, we could do moon, and the day we could do sunlight. So it's a kind of depending on clouds, obviously. But I think we could probably within countries we could kind of find ways.
We could harness the weak sunlight bouncing off of the moon.
Yeah, but I don't. I think that's kind of the efficiency won't be great.
But what about tidal power, which comes from the moon?
The what?
Tidal power from the tides.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if how can we harness that?
Well, I've heard before that there are machines now that can harness the shifting changes in the tide. So you have like a reservoir fills up, and then you can. I don't know much about it, but
no. But that's again like waves, or like that's kind of harvesting the tide, right? That's harvesting.
Yeah, and waves come
that's
from.
not really a harvesting moon, like or where you're not talking about that.
Well, I think the moon is. I think the moon is responsible for tidal energy in general. I think, and I think the waves in the ocean, I think, are a result of mainly of wind. Well, I suppose seismic activity as well, but mainly of wind, which would be a derivative of solar energy. So I guess I'm kind of fascinated by these different energy sources. So if you're one of the things in my research that I'm looking up, and I'm pursuing, is the relationship between our creators, or things that created us, whether or not they're deities or not, and what kind of energy those things have. So there are people who worship the moon, for example, and there are people who worship the sun. Very few people worship nuclear energy, mind you. I haven't really found a deity or a creator associated with nuclear power yet.
In Germany, we have a movement that probably worships the anti atomic industry. It's like it's quite a religion, I think, in parts of Germany.
Cool.